You fill your mouth with words and words. You twist them well. Oh yes, I heard. Shits and ties don't cover your life. I see you come. You try. You know me, you say we get the same society. Oh.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you join us on today's episode of the Baroness. I hope that today promises, and it's indeed everything you hope and wish for. My name is Karen Gukas, and I will not be doing it alone today. As always, the gorgeous Babe Monyam is right beside me, ready and ever willing to do this to the best of her knowledge.
Yeah, I accept your adjective there. I've been told very serious about your time. And so we always bring something that will add value to your life. If there's any activity you engage in that does not add value, you shouldn't just desist from it. Everything we ought to do every day of our lives must be something that should add something to our lives. You know, even if it's in service, Kermo,
sure.
You are adding a value to your life, even if you are giving out. You know, so we'll be thrilled that is going on around you here, thrilled that is going on around you here on the plateau and even beyond. So good to have you join us.
No truer words were ever said. And of course, as Baidma said, we are indeed passionate about adding value to your life. We just want to keep you company. We want to intimate you. We want to ensure that we bring relevant information that will impact your lives positively. Last week was quite a ride. She paid key attention, and it's something that is really very dear to our hearts. It's about everybody in society. It affects us either directly or indirectly. We were talking about the place of mediation in relationships. Baitma, you were actually on set last week.
Last week was heart touching to know that you shouldn't bear all the burden alone.
True.
If you're going through a hard time in any form related relationships and you seem not to be satisfied or you're suffering, there is a room for mediation. There are experts who trained on mediation. They can come in between you and whoever is involved to help out. Sometimes we assume that we know how to handle things and until they escalate and become a challenge for us in society. It's good to handle if you are not able to handle it. And interestingly, we have Gender Commission here on the plateau, and they are doing a lot already. You know, what dominated discussions last episode was especially down to man and woman relationship, toxic relationships, violent relationships. When do you leave? When do you say no? When do you blow the whistle? When do you raise the flag, the red flag, to say, I'm in trouble? End of the day, the encouragement, Kermo, was that speak up. Don't die in silence. Speak up. You are the one in it.
True.
No one else. You don't have to go back and ask, should I complain or should I not? It's you. It's your life. So take charge. Speak up so that someone can help you. I'm not talking about just anybody, neighbor, or need in a way that you will be satisfied.
You're very correct. And it also goes beyond just speaking out, as you mentioned. As a society, we owe it to ourselves to end the stigma when people indeed speak out. We owe it to ourselves to be there to help them when they do so. Without much further ado, we will delve right into today's topic. We will be talking about an issue that is dear to our hearts, dear to my mind, to my heart. We're going to be delving into the world of...
Well, who doesn't love food?
People...
You know, but young ladies don't usually identify themselves with food. I'm surprised, Kermo, you're not ashamed to say...
Why would I be ashamed to? Half of myself is composed of food, for goodness sake. So I
ladies are very, discreet about that.
Okay, I love food in a positive manner, not the type where you overeat. So let's break that down.
All right.
Yes, of course, we have two chefs in the house, so you know that they are going to be doing justice to what we would mentorship against the backdrop of a conference that was held in Plateau State, and well, a food conference. So I'm sure it's something that you will stay with bated breath to hear more about. Something like that happened in Plateau State. I'm sure you are curious, so don't go anywhere. And well, the experts will talk to you about that. I will not be introducing them. The Idmo has the honors.
Yes, as always, we will bring you the day. And in the studio this hour, we have Chef Nimnan Bagudu, head of admin, Chef Mentors Embassy Africa. Heard that before? Well, I'm sure you're keen. So you get to know. Nathan, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
The studio.
Thank you.
We also have Chef Jennifer Briggs, member Chef Mentors Africa.
I don't know why you're not wearing your chef uniform. I'm sure you would have looked as gorgeous as Mr. Nathan does. Yes. I love it when chefs come out in their whites with their whole heart, that heart that salutes everybody. It's gorgeous, I must say. Yes. And I'm sure Baitma would want to actually ask the first question, but I stole that from her. I wanted to have that honor of asking you the question.
Okay.
Chef Mentors Embassy Africa. Talk to us about it.
A mouthful, but it is as simple as the word is.
Okay.
Mentors and chefs, so Chef Mentors Embassy. Embassy is like a representation, right, of people.
Yeah.
And what we do is simply just a mentorship organization, and we like to clarify that we are not an association.
Okay.
So we have different chefs organizations or associations around the world and around the country, where we also collaborate with support people, these chefs. The organization is just about 2 years.
Okay.
2 years, but we've been mentoring chefs, let's say, for more than 10 years through my principal, where we used to call them the mall activation team. So we empower chefs, we support them both with knowledge, trainings, sometimes with connections and all of that, just to help them grow.
Okay.
Yes.
You're almost touching what I wanted to ask, but I think not exactly. Something must have informed this setting up of this mentorship.
Oh, yes.
Something must have informed it. Is it because people are no longer cooking right? Or what was or do we have deficiency in the number of people involved in these professional chefs? No.
Yeah, so I think what we call the West African Food Festival in Nigeria, in Lagos, and a group of chefs just sat down. It's an event, so where we have masters and all of that, mentors around.
Okay.
So they just sat down by the poolside, and they were just having small discussions. And then what we found out at that place, we found out that young chefs or chefs, they yearn for knowledge, cooking, right? For your concern, I say everybody knows how to cook. But what sets you apart is, cooking goes beyond just going to the pot and whipping up a few things. There are a lot of things, both for your personal life that is involved, both your personal life and all of that, that is involved in being in the kitchen, because it's a different world in its own. So we found out that, in fact, that meeting started by 7 p.m. and then there are areas in the industry that needs to also be filled that a lot of chefs do not know, they do not understand, and they want to know, they want to do this thing right, because now you're always in the kitchen, and we tell people you can never be wealthy if you're always in the kitchen.
Okay.
So during our first convention, we tried to change the mindset of chefs because of this first meeting we had, and that was what inspired us to set up a structure. We do a weekly training for 2 years straight, more than 2 years, because we were 2 years, 14th of August.
Okay.
2025. So for this period of time straight, we do a weekly training for chefs, free of charge, online.
Wow.
Free.
Who is a chef? I'm curious to know, because I'm a layman, so I cook. So Maybe I'd throw that to Jennifer.
You can be, and still you cannot be at the same time. A chef is more of a mentor, and a chef is more of someone who wants to put somebody through, or someone who is wanting to know more about his skills and whatever has to do with the food industry. So most times, for you cook in your house, you wouldn't want to know more. You already have your menu for your day-to-day cooking. This week you cook jollof rice, to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have what you change at every time. But for chefs, for a chef, you want to learn more. Just like my boss just said, they teach people on new recipes, how to go about it, and how to go in about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to add something to that? Who the chef is? Who would you say? So we don't use the word loosely. Just because you came up, you served us, and we just conclude you are. Let's know who a chef is.
So first of all, a chef is a professional. Okay. A professional who understands the intricacies of what it means to cook or be in the kitchen, and not just to cook. So currently there are chefs that are product developers.
Oh wow!
Yes, you can see some of the logos. Some of these companies, they do not cook, but we have chefs working there because they develop things. Some of the seasoning you eat, they are chefs, right? And we have chefs that are consultants currently that do just purely administrative work. And also we have chefs that manages hotels and all of that, the food and beverage industry. Well, we have chefs that also cook, and we have, of course, caterers who are also chefs. For a long time, there is a rift between who is a caterer, who is a chef. But
exactly.
Yeah, they are chefs because they know what they are doing, right?
But does one need to go to school to be a chef?
There are two ways to be a chef, either by experience and either by getting, but all of it boils down to knowledge. The amount of knowledge I can gain my way up the ladder, and I can decide to go to school to learn how to do this job. I cannot limit it to say, I have to go to school, but I will limit it if you do not have the knowledge of what it takes to be a chef. And it means even if you don't go to a formal cooking school, we have courses and even online and all of that grows your knowledge base. And also that is where mentorship, of course, comes in, because if you are learning under somebody by experience.
Okay, I actually love what you just said there. Now correct me if I am wrong, but statistics seems to actually perceive that a lot of women seem to go into the chef business more than men. And oftentimes men face all sorts of discrimination. It's like some people look at you and they tell you to go and get a serious day job. Now, as a male in this industry that seems to be heavy
thing so far for me, and I think for us in the industry, we understand better. The industry is male dominated, not female dominated.
Okay.
We have a lot of male chefs than female chefs, and there are reasons for that. The whole industry is a high pressure industry. Is a high pressure. So I can take you around to different hotels, then you count 10, 15 hotels, and you tell me how many women actually top 10 chefs in Nigeria or Africa, and you find out if there are a lot of women inside. And I'm not. It's not. It's not. Yeah. It's not. It's not. It's not about discrimination, right? But I'm saying it's a male dominated. There is no limit to a man. There in this industry, there's nothing like a man shouldn't be here or a man cannot be. In fact, there are more opportunities for men in this industry than women. Yes.
I like the fact that it is so, because I know I read the fact that the best chef was a man, and somewhere in which country I cannot remember, and it's a long time I read that.
Yeah.
And it's true when you go to hospitality, in the hospitality business, mostly you find men dominating in the area of this chef. Do you delve into nutrition? Do you have any relationship with nutrition, or do you want to putting together meals now?
So this is perfect. This is perfect because yesterday I was taking a session on, because yesterday was International Chefs Day, and I was taking a session and this question came up, and I said chefs are not nutritionists. They are not nutritionists. A nutritionist is different from who a chef is.
Is there a but?
A nutritionist creates the menu, but nobody says you can't be a nutritionist and a chef at the same time. And it comes down to, we just partnered, like I said, we support chefs. So we just partnered with Citadel Nutrition Consult just a few months back. And currently, we're proud to say we have the first set of diet chefs in Africa. Diet chefs in Africa. So it means they are combined, both nutritionists and
diet chefs.
Yes. So they can also make that, actually execute the meal, a diet meal perfectly. Because when you talk about diet, it's a whole new world on its own. That we can sit here and I'll talk for hours about dieting, right? But it is because I also understand the concept, but do not indulge just anybody that is not certified, because that area is very, very key and very fragile to play around with, right? So a chef needs to understand weight, your blood group, your blood type, or what your blood type, and all of that, right? And the system, how your system works, and what your system should take and what it should not. So for a chef, he has to be properly trained to be a nutritionist, and it takes a lot of knowledge and training and all of that to be a nutritionist. But currently we have diet chefs in Africa, currently through Chef Mentors Embassy.
All right.
Yes.
That is actually nice.
And you gave a tip a while ago about the fact that you wanted to promote African dishes or African recipes. Or what would you let us in on some of the things that came up during the conference?
Well, it was a whole week of awesomeness. It was a whole week of awesomeness. Redefining the African chef, right? Redefining the African chef. Now, we changed the mindset first of the chefs last year. Then this year we decided to focus on promoting African food. Because like I said, the difference between African food and Western food is just presentation. How people go about it is presentation, right?
Really?
Yeah, they find a way of presenting their food to be appealing to the world.
To know that the international dish, they will say intercontinental.
Yes, yes.
And when you hear that at an occasion, if you request for an intercontinental dish, then you're paying through your throat to get that.
Yes.
Meantime, if it's just your local dish, it's cheap. And I want to know that why it's so.
If you were at our convention, our last convention, if you see how we presented the plateau food, it was very, very attractive, plated everything very well. So it was very appealing. Some Yoruba people were there, some Igbos were there, but they were happy to see it, and some of them tasted it.
Wow, you know what? I'm actually learning that the difference between our delicacies and some of the foreign ones is simply packaging.
Yeah.
So we ought to learn to package.
Well, I'm
better.
not just package.
Yes.
I think there's room for cross-cultural diversity, which was
you hold that thought?
Yeah.
Cross-cultural. That note, we will be going on a brief breather. But when we return, the conversation still continues. Don't go anywhere.
Against you. I would consider that very unfortunate.
You are not in a moment.
Whether it's entertainment, education, or information, we're always here for you. Stay tuned to the Baroness on PRTV Jos every Tuesdays from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and on repeats on Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Baroness, changing lives a day at a time.
I hear your
a conversation on a recent conference that was held in Jos concerning mentorship by the Chef Mentors Embassy of Africa. And before we went on the break, Chef Nathan was mentioned something about cross-cultural diversity. So we'd like you to expatiate more on that.
Oh, okay. So what we mean by cross-cultural diversity is for to understand what it means to eat in Senegal, in Gambia, or a Plateau man should be able to learn how the culture, how to eat and what to eat or how to cook and prepare, right? Dishes from Lagos or whatever it is, right? So that is what we mean by cross-cultural diversity, where we understand the culture of Africa, how African food works. If I'm cooking a currently the Ghana jollof and the Nigerian jollof, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a big argument.
Yes.
And then people now forget that the best jollof you are having is what we call the tebuden, which is the Senegalese jollof, and they are like they are like the owners of jollof. Yeah, the originators of jollof. Okay. And yeah, when you're cooking in Senegal and the Gambia and all of those, that particular area, there's a way they cook. They do not cook for less than 3. Yeah, so that is their culture. And if I need to understand their culture for me to be able to create. And that is why there's a lot of issues coming around fusion cuisine. Okay. So you are carrying a dish from here and you're pairing it with a dish from Northern Africa or Eastern Africa or Southern Africa. And because of this particular project, we had to come up with a book titled Africa on a Plate, Africa in a Plate. So in 6 months, and I think last time we were here, we brought it and dropped it as a gift. It is so rich. It contains top 100 dishes in Africa. Top 100 dishes in Africa, from Northern Africa, Eastern Africa, Central, Southern, and Western Africa here. So it contains top dishes from all of these countries. And not just dishes, it talks about some of their stories. It also talks about their ingredients. So we're going deep into promoting dishes, African dishes, by not just saying, oh, I can cook jollof rice, I can cook this, I can cook that. How do we fuse it together to bring something powerful?
You know, I'd like to interject here. Because you've been talking about fusing a lot of different diets, different meals from across Africa. Now, the average Nigerian, let's bring it down to Plateau. The average Plateau, that is why people just sort of constrain their diets to simple meals per day. If you go on the street and ask people, what is that basic thing that you eat a day? Mark my words, percentage of people tell you rice, swallow, these two things. People eat them a lot because Nigerians believe in quantity over quality. Like, I'd rather have 3 meals of fufu that will last me from morning to evening than just have simple diets. So
I can tell you that the rice and jollof you think not eating on a budget, you can eat on the budget and also eat like a king.
Okay.
I think there was an event we did, and we cooked potatoes in 20 different ways, or 30, Irish. That aside, we used acha to cook it in about 30 or 20 different ways. Okay. Also. Now, there's also an event we did where we rolled out about 30. So it means you can play around with food. You can also create with what you have, not necessarily, because all of the ingredients we're talking about, you can find the same ingredient you find in Nigeria, you find in Uganda, just different names most of the time. And even the ingredients in Eastern Nigeria and Western Nigeria, they're not as expensive as it is. It's the same cost of ingredients. That area, you're getting the same cost. You just have to get it and prepare an excellent dish.
So what does it take for a chef, an aspiring chef?
Yes.
What does it take for such a person to be involved with you? Because I know that there are young people out there, not for want of job, but truly are desirous of it. But maybe the profession itself around here has not been given that the prestige or event. Maybe Jennifer will say a word before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a catering school where I teach students on catering. So before I started, let me start with my story. So catering for me, or being a chef for me, was a passion. So I grew up in a family where my dad loves eating different and buy it. So whenever he takes me to the restaurant, when I was young, we used to go to Sheraton, Nikon to eat lunch. So whenever I go there, I see the way they plate their food, and I see that is like just spaghetti. When my mom makes spaghetti at home, I'll feel like, this is not nice. But when I go there, I'll say, this is, but it's the same spaghetti, just like he said. So I had passion, I started following it up. I'll go to the market selling, what do I do with this? They will tell me they add this to rice, or they add this to, is it fresh, or they do salads with it and all that. So I started cooking. When my elder brother wanted to get married, I told my uncles that, okay, since people are saying the cost for a caterer is much, I can organize a set of friends for us to do this. So they said, okay, I should go ahead. They trusted me because they've been eating my food in the small pot, and it was excellent. Okay. So one of my uncle's daughters, two of them, they wanted to get married the same time. So my uncle now said, if it's not Jennifer, he doesn't want anybody to cook the food. Oh, wow. So I made the food, it was perfect. Then gradually I commercialized it based on what we were talking earlier. So I commercialized it without going to any culinary school, nothing. People started recommending me for events, go a bit further to learn, so that I can get a certificate for it. So, of which I did, like 4 years back. I got my certificate and I started running my own school where I train students until last year when I met Chef Enjay, and he is still putting me through to some things I do not know about.
But he's also training. He's also training.
Yeah, he's a consultant.
Yes.
He is a consultant. So we do, most of us in the industry, we do more of the cooking. Like we take care of events. I can take care of an event for you, very fantastic. But some of the things he knows, I do not know.
But why is, I have issues sometimes with chefs. Like, it's food I want to eat. Why do you make it more expensive than the food I'm seeing?
Not even much. So why do it cost
small?
much?
And then it will be so expensive.
We pay staff.
Is that all?
We do logistics.
Okay.
We create things. We create new dishes. We do not just the food, not just the jollof rice. You could see jollof rice. You could see side dishes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chef Nathan, you mean yours is the reason it is expensive? Are we now contributing to the school fees that you pay?
I want to add to that. Yeah. We don't have plenty courses like foreign countries seem to do. Like in a meal, you can eat the starter course. You can have the main course.
Can you pay for it?
And all of that. No, I'm just giving an example. So I would understand why their meals are sort of expensive, but sometimes you just have a small side dish of rice which they use that container, that plastic container to measure. And then you're wondering, Jesus.
Let me tell you something. The food is 80% service and 20% the dish.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's
now
80% service, right? From the type of plate I'm serving you to the uniform of the person serving you to who is serving you.
To where you're even sitting.
Yes, to where you're to where you're sitting, the AC you are receiving and all of that, right? Now, even if it's a normal event, a wedding event, right? You have to, those factors from what you're using to serve those people, they're even more than the food you're eating. And that aside also, you're not paying for food, you're paying for an experience. And you're paying, that experience comes from the skill of the person cooking the food. That is why, like I said, some chefs or caterers will be will always be expensive than others. If you come, and you say, oh, I have, you've had issues with clients.
Go and try.
You can go and try. Just like the word says, there are levels to.
The experience is expensive.
Yes, you serve experience.
You know what? Please hold that thought. I cannot help but laugh. Seriously, this is quite interesting. But obviously, we cannot just be talking all through. This is the part where you can also contribute on the Baroness. Our phone lines will be open for your questions, your observations, and your comments. The number 384. I'll take it again. 0810-283-1384. Someone will put the number on your screen. Please call us with your questions, your observations, and your messages also.
I like what you're saying because one aspect of eating that we sometimes forget is that we need satisfaction. It's not about the stomach being filled in terms of capacity, but the satisfaction from 5-star or even 3. If there's anything like that, and you eat, there's a satisfaction that you carry with you when you leave. You may not have eaten a whole lot like you would have eaten in a mama put,
well, you're fulfilled.
But then you're fulfilled. There's a satisfaction. You go with it that you've eaten something right, sometimes something decent. So we need to appreciate instead of just throwing it and saying, so after all, this rice can go for this, and why will I have to engage? Exactly. We want you to sell the chefs here now. Why should I go for you who will give me a plate for 5,000 naira when someone can give me just for 1,000?
1,000 naira.
Why quality versus quantity?
So quality is very important. And like I said, it all boils down to experience. My food rice, it should tell you a story. They always say something that the Calabar woman cooks best, right?
Yeah,
the Calabar woman.
Yes.
But is it about her cooking best? It's not because she knows how to cook, right? But what they do is they always pour their heart into what they are cooking. So if I'm serving you a dish, I'm pouring my heart and everything I know into it. I'm going to serve you that experience. That when you go back, the flavors you are eating are telling you a story, and you always want to come back.
Is when the chefs cook, there are a lot of food critics that come to just criticize the food. Is this food making sense? Should people not eat this food? And then they seem to have people who come into restaurants. It could be 5-star, it could be less than a 5-star hotel, to come and probably maintain, to monitor the hygiene, how this food are prepared.
Standard.
Yes, the standard. How are we doing when it comes to that in Nigeria? Do we have
so
such?
I think I've basically traveled everywhere in Nigeria, either setting up restaurants or vending or doing what to. So when setting up your operational procedures, there are a lot of things you need to look at. And like I said, a lot of restaurants are coming up, but also I will not deny the fact that there are challenges. Right, when you tell a client, oh, you need to do this, because whether you like it or not, food is life, right? And if you do not, a huge problem going forward. It is as worst in the Western world that you'll be jailed for if anybody. It's normal here when I eat food and my stomach turns around and I say, oh no, it's just my stomach. It could be poisoning. There are a lot of things. I will bust something here, and I know a lot of people will come for me, but let me just say this one thing. You see the meat you buy outside, right? The meat you buy, you go and buy somewhere. For every food of about 7 or 8 till 59 is being exposed for at least 4 hours, especially protein outside is poison already.
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
Yes, it's poison.
You can't even take it out by boiling?
Shouldn't. You should. No. There's an area where bacteria forms a bond.
Oh, okay.
There's what we call a bond when bacteria
forms a bond. So no matter how much you boil it, it doesn't kill it.
It doesn't kill it, right? Okay. So that is why we do not buy eggs. Did also a training with World Chefs Association, January, where it was sustainable practices for culinary professionals. It teaches you how to do excellent sourcing and also disposal and also storage and all of those things. These are areas that when you go to a kitchen, you need to set up things that will take care of all of these things. And that's why you watch a documentary in other places. Most restaurants have their own abattoir right in the kitchen. It's not exposed anywhere. So there are different areas to food. Food is not just cooking. There is a science and there's also an art behind cooking. I do not just cook, right? And that is why I say if you're hiring a chef, you're not hiring just anybody that can cook. You're hiring somebody that you're putting your life in his hands, and he's also creating an experience for you.
That's why people should not upset chefs.
And it is I think for me, it is a career that I am very proud of. When I say people, why are you in this career, and blah, blah, blah. There are a lot of discouragements. But today, chefs are very important. They are very, very important. And the trainings of chefs, if you want to go to a proper training, is not cheap.
But
it's
does society value you? Because
yes.
You've said that you...
It can only value if you play. If I do not place value on myself, there's no way society will value me. If I always want to cook like a regular person, or I do not want to get the knowledge I am getting, because aside the weekly trainings I run, right, and I also hold and I'm part of, I'm not just a mentor. I also learn every day of my life.
So what should people look out for? For example, you're talking, we do not know what happens behind the scene. We only go to eat whether the good, the cheap food or the expensive food. Is it okay if we see where they are doing this food? Like, what does your mentorship group encourage? Because when you're putting in this thing now, you're beginning to put some fear in us that some of the things that some of the food we eat, because we don't even know the source, just because we are Africans, we don't react immediately to things. And sometimes even when we react, we're not able to put ourselves to know exactly the source of our challenge. We just relax and just, maybe it's just
village people.
Talk. We just attribute it to some other things. What would your mentorship group advise? What are the things that you are promoting right now?
Of excellence, both in our members, right? And that's why I'm selling the chefs, right? It's not even for me, but I'm selling the chefs. Whoever is a chef, I'm selling properly. Because if I start to bust all of these things for food hygiene and safety, HACCP and all of that, I don't think you would want to eat even in your house.
Okay.
Yeah, but what to look at, like I said, in Nigeria, food is advancing. Food and what is advancing. So you can, and there are instances, if I want to pay a good sum of money to it, I can ask for an inspection or even a taste, right?
Before the event.
Yeah, before the event, I can.
Oh,
If I
wow.
want to. But like I said, there are levels to all of these things. Because if you're asking for a taste before this one or an experience before the main this one, you should know the bill you're asking.
True.
Yeah. So
This has always been an eye opener. Unfortunately, we just have to call it a wraps on the program, but we will have your final comments. Someone is aspiring to be a chef, doesn't know the benefits, doesn't know how to do so. How do they do so? So sell it to somebody in just a second. This one goes to both of you.
well, in a second it's difficult.
Okay, fine. Let's make it 3 seconds.
All right, so you can just a DM. We'll tell you it's totally simple. We just add you to the group, and what we just need is your commitment to grow. Your commitment to grow is very, very important for us. It's not about, I want to be a chef, but you have to be committed to the journey. It's not an easy road, but
And you have to be passionate about it as well.
Because sacrificing time and all of that, I always tell my people, personally, aside the train, my Saturday is locked down 7 p.m. till 10. He's locked. He's on total lock because that day.
I've said, how does one apply to taste your food?
Cooking with food.
Apply to taste.
Yeah, I can be a taster.
So for chefs, I think you've gone way beyond cooking now. For good chefs.
Chef Jennifer, briefly, please.
I think he has said it all.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a group. We do our meetings every Saturday. Gist with the master chef, just like he said. So if anybody wants to be a chef, he can just go to our
Instagram,
Chef Mentors Embassy.
A lot, and we hope you have also learned a lot. Baitma, do you have anything to add?
Food is life. When you are engaging a chef, you are also giving your life in his hands, because what you take in will inform how healthy you become later on. So engage professionals. Don't just go for the cheap one just because it's cheap, but know that you need value, even if it's eating.
Definitely. And also remember that you can also be a food, to love eating food and be committed to what you want to do. And obviously the sky would just be your starting point. Yeah. Thank you so much for being with us on the Baroness today. We have had an enlightening conversation, and we will also do so for henceforth. We hope that when we call on you, you would add.
Hopefully.
Sure. Thank you so much for being a part of the conversation.
Thank you so much.
Until next time, thank you for being there.
All right, thank you.
Okay, the man does not manifest anything.
And it's a fight just to keep it together. Mouth with words and words, you twist them well. Oh yes, I heard. Shits and ties don't cover your light. I see you come, you try.